What's up guys, and welcome back to Getting Huge. So we are pretty much 2 weeks into my bulking cycle now, and I am surprisingly already starting to feel and see the effects, which is really great. I really wasn't expecting that. So things I've noticed it kicking in already is I am actually using a slightly shorter ester than I said I was going to. I'm using test ENTH instead of test SIP, so I'm feeling that this testosterone kicking already, because it's over double the dose I was, well, it's actually triple the dose I was taking. So before I was taking 200 milligrams of test and 200 milligrams of TREN. I was doing that for about 8 weeks. Before that I was just doing just 200 milligrams of test for a while. So now I'm on 600 milligrams of test. I'm really feeling the effects of that, and with like some of the side effects. I've had a little bit of like an acne breakout, so I've just started Accutane probably for only 2 weeks, and that should hopefully clear it up. Generally when I start new bigger cycles, as my hormone levels are increasing to the peak point, I tend to get more of the side effects, so acne, night sweats if it was TREN, you know, water retention, and then once I actually hit those like peak levels after 6 weeks or 8 weeks, depending on what sort of ester you're running, the side effects seem to ease off a lot as I have more stable hormone blood levels. So for me, side effects come a lot more when my hormones are spiking up and down a lot. So like running short esters and forgetting to do a jab and then doing another jab, I'd get a flare up of acne because my hormone levels have gone spiking up, drop way back down, spiking up again. So that is why I generally prefer to do longer esters. For me, less side effect heavy on quite a lot of the sides. So yeah, hopefully this will clear up soon, because my skin has actually been really good. And I'm going to be hitting some sunbeds and stuff soon to help keep it clear. So really happy about that, because after, God, 15 years of having acne, for it to finally be cleared and stay constantly clear pretty much even while doing these cycles now, is just shows how powerful Accutane is. And I wish I'd taken it so much younger. I wouldn't have all these scars and stuff, but you know what, it's just one of those things, and Amy thinks I'm hot anyway, so who the fuck cares, right? So yeah, as well as the acne picking up, which I know is the sign of the testosterone kicking in, I've started to put on mass already, and you can see in the video, like, so especially with my back muscles, the thickness in there when I start to up a cycle just goes mad. It's just my genetics, I'm quite lucky in that sense, and my shoulders have just started to grow and pop already. I'm holding a little bit more water retention. I can tell that, like, my muscles look a bit fluffier than they were a couple of weeks ago, and despite eating you know, 22 to 2,500 calories a day, my weight has gone up in the last 2 weeks by 1 kilo. So, you know, that's not going to be fat or anything like that. So it's mostly water retention from the steroids starting to work. But what I'm going to do is I really want to keep this water down as low as possible. I don't want to get too messy and sloppy. I don't want to get too fatty. So next week I'm getting a second gym membership, because of this reason. Basically, in the mornings I'm really fucking lazy. I need to change that. It is actually bad. Like, I've just got, especially after lockdown, I've just got into the habit of, it takes me forever to get going in the morning, and I'm not really productive at all until about midday, which is just, I'm wasting so much of my day every day. So what I decided to do is, normally we get up in the morning and I walk Amy into work quite often, because I like the walk, it wakes me up a bit, and then I'll come back home and then I'll get showered and I'll just take my sweet merry time getting ready. Not doing that anymore. I'm either going to get up and walk to the gym at 7 in the morning, do 30 to 45 minutes of Stairmaster, maybe do some calves, some accessory work, then go home and get on with my other work stuff, you know. And working out really wakes me up and gets me going, so I have no real excuse to not do it every single morning. And this is just going to keep me in better shape as well. It's going to keep my cardio in better condition. It's going to keep me leaner as I bulk up. It's going to stop any sloppiness, and it's just going to get me in a better routine and pattern. So, you know, I'm just trying to make sure I've got a really good structure, not just to my training, but to like my whole life, so that everything I do is going to help me look better, get better, and be better at my job, basically. So that's the plan for next week, but my workouts this week have really picked up. Like, my strength is up, everything's up, and in this workout though, I accidentally bloody injured myself right on the elbow here. I'll explain how we're going to get into the video, but it's fucking sore today, so we're going to see if I can even train on this. I'm supposed to do chest tonight, we'll see what happens. But this was some clips from the training footage we've got. I trained with Reese, if you remember I trained with him back a little while ago. But yeah, let's get to it. So the first clips I'm showing you here are of the leg workout we did on Wednesday. So I only recorded the 5x5 squats because I just didn't get a chance to do the other recordings. So 5x5 at 150, I wanted to go in for some 5x5, not too heavy, and honestly 150 was too light. Like the 5 sets are real easy. I could have probably done 160, 165 for 5x5 pretty easily. My squat strength is going up and up and up, which is great, and it is helping my legs grow. And we're going to do a full leg day workout soon because I'm having to do some very different specific exercises, but we'll talk about that in the leg day. This is Reese's doing 150 for reps as well. So he basically has just recently got his girlfriend pregnant, and now he's back on the gain train. You all gonna know what I mean. And yeah, his strength's gone up really quick again. His bench has gone up a lot because his bench was his weakest one. That suddenly just shot up, and he's definitely got like more roundness and fullness in his shoulders and that. So I'm going to be training with him. It's quite good to train with someone on a similar strength level to you. Although a lot of the guys in this gym are. Reece is just nice, and he let me use his box gym during lockdown, and he's taught me quite a few things about strength training. It's just great to meet and train with new people. I'm really loving that aspect of being a personal trainer as well. You can always learn something from everybody, and you always should be listening out for tips and ideas on how to improve. Even if people are smaller than you or whatever, or weaker than you, doesn't mean they don't know more than you. So anyway, this was a pull downs, a rest pause set, and as you can see, my back is already gotten decently thick. So I don't even need to train my back that intensely to really get it to add mass. But I am just trying to focus on getting it as wide and as thick as possible because bodybuilding shows are one from the back, so I need to bring my hamstrings in there too. But yeah, I love rest pause sets for pull downs. They really just get you a massive lat pump straight away, and I pretty much always do it as my first exercise. But God, am I pale. If I had a tan, you'd see so much more definition there. But like you can see the thickness of my traps and everything. I think my traps grow so much because I really activate them a lot during every back exercise, and obviously on the cycle there's a lot more nerve endings up in your traps, so they're just going to grow easier. So things like heavy pull downs and heavy rows I think target my traps just as much as they do my lats, which is why they've gotten bigger. So we've got 2 different variations of dumbbell rows here. I might try doing Reese's one in future because it does seem to hit the back at a slightly different angle, whereas I've always done the leaning on the bench method, which you'll see here. So it's fairly similar in terms of like the weight and the movement, but it's a slightly different angle. So he's bent more over, and he's working more like the whole central of the back, while mine's more focused on the lats. But yeah, it's still hitting the muscles hard, and the fucking dumbbell rows, absolute killer. I love them, and when I do dumbbell rows, my back really does just fluff up and just get big with the pump. So love doing those. Next, onto muscle round rows. So these were chunks of 6, 6, 6, 6. So do 6 reps, 10 seconds rest, 6 reps, 10 seconds rest, and these just get you an insane pump. It gets you a good amount of volume with moderate weight. I really love doing these over doing heavy rows. I think I get a lot more out of it. I'd rather do like the heavy rows with a dumbbell and then on the machine, mess around with the muscle rounds, just because they're easy to do, and it's an easy setup. So very similar style, and I just do my reps a little bit slower. I've always sort of taken my time and control with back and really try and get that stretch and that squeeze every single rep. So squeeze, stretch, and you can see the muscles firing and activating as I'm really trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together at the top of the movement, and then stretch. And then if you watch Arnie and all him doing the rows, he properly goes horror. He almost like touches his knees with his face when he's doing rows. He gets a massive stretch. So it really does help activate more muscle fibers, and I think it's one of the reasons my back's grown really quickly over the last year or so, is just trying to make sure I'm actually activating all the fibers properly and hitting the back from different angles. So all my back workouts tend to be different. So then we went on to face pulls. So like it's a standard back and shoulder workout for me, except some sessions I'll focus on lower lats, some sessions I'll focus on traps, some sessions I'll focus on the middle of the back. So I vary each back session just to try and make sure I get full development, but I'll always chuck in some rear delt movements because you just need rear delts to have a good looking back and to really make your shoulders pop, and also they work your traps nicely too. So face pulls are one of the best ones. Really works the rear delts and the traps like hard, especially if you're doing them right. You want to be trying to row the rope to your forehead air height. If you go lower than that, you end up activating more traps and rear delts. Getting your arms up higher really gets those rear delts working, so you can see mine really activating there a lot. Whereas if I brought my elbows lower, my lats would be used a lot more than my rear delts, and my inner traps as well, and the rhomboids, so you wouldn't actually get as much activation from the face pull. So that's just a pro tip, just try and have it near the top of your head. You don't normally need that much weight for it, and I go for high reps to try and really get that burn in the back of your shoulders. When you go too heavy, I don't find you feel that burn as much, so it's really about trying to squeeze and contract the rear delt. And this is the exercise I injured myself on, or after it anyway, pullovers. So me and Reese have different styles of pullovers here. I really go for like the slow and controlled reps, really trying to activate every muscle fiber, and he's just going for more just pumping it out. Both work, it's just different styles, and you know, I prefer just to take my time with all of my reps generally and just really feel that squeeze in my traps at the back, and then, you know, slowly let it go down, let it stretch the muscles out. I also prefer this exercise with a straight bar to a rope. I feel like with a rope you really can't get the same control and squeeze at the peak contraction. But yeah, I injured myself on this because that's a heavy metal bar, right? I was underneath it, I was taking the pin out to adjust something on the bottom, and the bar obviously weighs more than no weight. Fell down and smashed me straight on the elbow, properly on my elbow joint. It didn't hurt for like a few minutes, and then when I started to PT a client later, it really started to hurt, and now I've got this sort of lump in my elbow. So hopefully I'll be able to train some chest today, because when I extend it, it does seem to hurt a bit, but I think it just missed my elbow joint and hit like sort of the end of the bone, which I'm not really even any better, to be honest. So that's what I've got to deal with today. That was a stupid injury by me making a dumb mistake. Shame I didn't catch it on camera, but at least it didn't hit me on the back of the head, I guess. So yeah, we finished off with some more rear delts after pullovers. Always get at least 2 rear delt exercises into my back days, and I think it's one of the reasons they've really helped round out. And yeah, this was just a standard back workout, nothing too crazy, just making sure all my sets are intense and that I really train as hard as I could each set. And that's all you can really do. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm looking forward to the next couple months and seeing what I can achieve, and also I'm looking forward to showing off some of my clients, because a couple of the new guys are making such good progress really fast on their first cycle, so I really want to show off what they've managed to do, but I'm going to give them another month yet. But some of them have really started to gain ridiculously quickly, so it's nice to see, and you know, I really enjoy what I'm doing. So if you're interested or want some help with, you know, your first cycles, training, diet, whatever, to stay more on track, have someone, you know, accountability, I'm really good for making sure I keep on top of people, message them all the time, because I know how important it is to have someone on your back chasing you up on diet and training. Otherwise it's so easy to slip off the ball, which I've done many a time. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you next video.